I was fired for stealing company time after my boss caught me working through lunch to finish a project he needed urgently. I've always been the employee who goes above and beyond, the one who stays late, picks up slack, and never complains. For 3 years at Meridian Epions, I maintained a perfect attendance record and consistently exceeded my targets. My performance reviews were stellar part until last month, when everything imploded over a sandwich and 30 minutes of company time. Our department had been drowning after 2 team members quit without replacement. My workload tripled, but deadlines remained unchanged. The breaking point came when my boss David dropped an urgent client presentation on my desk at 11:30 a.m., demanding it be ready by 2 p.m. that same day. This is top priority, he emphasized. The CEO will be in this meeting. Make it perfect. I nodded, knowing my planned lunch with a friend would have to be cancelled. Again, I texted my apology and dove into the project, working straight through my designated lunch break. I didn't even leave my desk. Prince just unwrapped the sandwich I'd brought from home and continued designing slides while taking small bites. At 1:45 p.m., I sent the completed presentation to David. It was some of my best work, especially given the time constraint. I expected a thank you, maybe even recognition for sacrificing my break. Instead, at 4:30 p.m., I received an email from IHR requesting my presence in a meeting. When I arrived, David was there alongside our HR director, both wearing expressions that suggested I'd committed a serious offense. "We need to discuss your violation of company policy," the HR director began, sliding a printed copy of our employee handbook across the table. Section 8.3 clearly states that all employees must take their full lunch break away from their workstations. I stared at them in disbelief. I was finishing the urgent presentation David needed, the one for the CEO. David cleared his throat. "Company policy exists for a reason. Working through lunch creates liability issues and sets a poor example for other team members. But you gave me an impossible deadline," I countered. "There was no way to complete it without working through lunch. You should have managed your time better or requested an extension," he replied, not meeting my eyes. The HR director then delivered the final blow. "This isn't your first violation. Security footage shows you've worked through lunch 6 times in the past month. That's 3 hours of unauthorized work, essentially time theft from the company. Time theft for working extra hours, for doing more than my job required." I laughed part. I actually laughed out loud, paired, which clearly wasn't the reaction they expected. "Let me get this straight," I said, suddenly feeling lighter than I had in months. "I am being disciplined for working too much, for completing urgent projects you assigned with impossible deadlines." "This isn't about the work," David insisted. "It's about following protocol." That's when something inside me snapped. 3 years of missed family dinners, canceled plans with friends, and stress-induced insomnia burned all for a company that considered my dedication a punishable offense. I stood up, collected my personal items from my desk, and handed my badge to the stunned HR director. "See, consider this my resignation," I said. "I'd give 2 weeks notice, but I wouldn't want to steal any more of your precious company time." 2 weeks later, I accepted a position with Meridian's biggest competitor, Frontier, with better pay, flexible lunch breaks, and a manager who sent me a handwritten thank you note. After my first project, David has called 4 times since then. I let each one go to voicemail while enjoying my full lunch hour. If you want to hear what he said in those messages, follow for part 2.